Midnight, not a sound from the pavement as the moon lost her memory. She is smiling alone.
Alright, we're going to try to do just a quick little rehouse video. My basement is a cluster right now. I'm doing water changes on the tanks, and I didn't know the spray bar on the wife's tank was pointed up. Started draining it, took off, went upstairs, went outside, did some chores. The aquarium water was squirting all over the floor once the water level got below that spray bar. So everything's soaked. Anyway, great time to do a rehousing video when I'm having that kind of luck, but I don't know if you guys can see them. But this little titty cattle is how I say it. Sorry if that's wrong. I know it's wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Titty cattle elbow pilosum, or the curly-haired tarantula. And he's just there if you guys can see him. But yeah, he's starting to look like an adult, and I think it's time to get him out of these little mayonnaise cups. And we're going to put him in a little bit bigger enclosure. I'll show you the two next to each other. But yeah, much bigger. Now, he would be absolutely fine in this cup for a couple more molts, but he's an extensive digger, so I would like to give him more room to dig. I feel like I don't like to keep my tarantulas in as small of enclosures as everybody else does. It gets, I think, more natural behavior out of them when they've got room to make their own hides. I mean, my argument is, in here, he can pick where he wants to make his hide and make it his way, blah, blah, blah. In here, this container is so small, this is his hide. He doesn't have options. This is his hide. Maybe I'm just making a big deal out of nothing. Maybe I'm an idiot. Matter of fact, the wife thinks I'm an idiot, so I could be. But anyway, regardless, I prefer to give my tarantulas more room. So we're going to give this guy all of this space, see what he does with it. Incidentally, I bought this container at Menards for like $1.60. It has a white lid, not a clear lid. I prefer the clear lid. But, yeah, well, guess it's more about what the tarantula likes than what I like. So, we're going to see how this little feller enjoys this. Hopefully I get everything on video. I make no promises. Let's see. One thing I hate doing is digging him out of his enclosure. See if I can work this to where everything's on camera. Guess I'll move you for now. I know, little fella. Big giant guy tearing your crap up. Actually, most of the tunnel's over here, so in theory, I can prevent it from collapsing this way. In theory. Here he comes. So yeah, he's not a real big guy, as you can see there. If you can see there. And like I said, he could easily live in this cup for probably 3 more molts, if not more. But I like to give him better. And I've noticed, you know, he's starting to get the curly hair that they're known for. And I find, in my experience, that once the baby tarantulas stop looking like a tick and start to grow the hair and the patterns and the colors of the adults, when you start to see them actually look like the adult they're going to become, is about the time when they start hunting their prey and stop needing to scavenge. So anyway, we're going to give this guy this big enclosure, and hopefully he enjoys it and does something with it. So let's move that over, and we're going to just try to get him to walk out of there into there. Yeah, I don't know that he's going to do a whole lot of walking. He's probably going to do a little bolting. Trying not to block the camera view. Come on, buddy. I promise you I'm not trying to hurt you. Oh, well, shit. Alright. There we are. Let's see if I can zoom in. No idea the video quality here. There he is. So yeah. Now this is a Nicaraguan curly hair, not the hobby form. There's also the Honduran curly hair, which I take to be the hobby form. No idea if I am misinterpreting things. Oh, he's fast, little son of a... Where'd he go? Oh yeah, there he is. I don't know if you can see him there back on the wall. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see if this little guy makes some extensive crazy burrows or what he does with this. Pretty sure it's a male. I have 6 Nicaraguan slings and 5 hobby form slings, and he is outgrowing the other Nicaraguan slings. Blah 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 blah. So I assume the faster growth rate means a male. Obviously, we won't know for a year or two, but yeah, there he is. Hopefully he enjoys. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and transfer over the last 2 avics that haven't been transferred into the new enclosures yet. They're no big deal. You guys have seen me transfer, well, probably all the other avics. But you're coming along anyway. So basically what I have is I take these boxes and bought them online. I make a whole video about who I bought them for and I forget. I don't like the screen on them. I only use them for babies. I will not put adult tarantulas in anything with screen because I have seen them get their legs stuck and it's horrible. But with babies you don't have that problem, so I'm okay with these. These are not big enough for adults anyway, so it's not an issue. I'm talking out my ass. Anyway, what I do is I'll take some fake plants, sometimes some cork bark, but my last few that I made, I hot glue everything down with a hot glue gun, and the cork bark on a couple of them keeps falling off. With baby spiders, I don't want big pieces of cork bark falling and crunching anybody, so these last couple I've just skipped the bark, just did some fake plants to give them plenty of anchor points. You know, go up behind probably this busy one over here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, they'll go up in here probably and make a little tunnel web, and that's where to stay until it's too big to be up in there. But me being me, I will have transferred it long before it's too big for this enclosure. But yeah, a little hot glue gun, and then just to cover the unsightly glue glob, I just throw a little dirt on it, let it dry there, just for looks. It doesn't harm the tarantula, so there's no health reason to cover it. I just like it better if there's some random dirt on the wall instead of random glue. But yeah, that's all I do, and then I'll take a bottle cap, stick her in there, kind of dig her down into stabilizer, because there's quite a bit of jostling when you take the bottoms off of these to get to the tarantulas. So I'd rather not fling water in my face every time I open it. Fill her up. I'll fill the bottom of these enclosures with dirt. Being avics, they will not burrow. They're not even usually going to come down on the ground. Usually if your avic is on the ground other than to hunt, if it's just hanging out on the ground, that's usually a bad sign. Not always, but usually, in my experience. Most avics I find hanging out on the ground, I find dead within a few days, and I'm not really sure why. Anyway, so I'll do that with the avics. Have it top opening. Avics always come to the top and build their nests. They never ever dig into the ground. They never ever burrow into the ground or use the dirt webs or anything like that in my experience. All other arboreal tarantulas that I have, I don't care what genus it is, if it's not an avic, I will have this container upside down and be a top opening container, because all other tarantulas that I know of, and I've never ever owned what's the New World one, taps, I forget their the pronunciation of their scientific name, but that's one New World arboreal I've never owned, but I assume they are also burrowers, so they would probably be an upside down too. But avics are the only ones I have bottom opening. And it's just, you know, kick yourself in the butt if you have a top opening avic enclosure usually. Alright, enough of me blabbering like some sort of fucking expert. Let's just transfer a spider. What do we got there? We got a lot of glare, don't we? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see. We are the biggest of the two, so we will transfer you. Let me find my trusty paint. Now, being a New World, and especially avics, one of the most gentle genuses out there usually, there should be absolutely no problems. I should take this lid off and walk that little guy right in there, no problems. But it's always the problems you don't expect that cause the most problems. So I'm going to get a catch cup just in case. Now, of my, what am I up to now? 10 subscribers. If any of you are watching these videos to learn, I'm not a teacher. I am simply showing you what happens in my life. There are a lot of other people out there much better equipped to be teachers. Tom Moran has a great channel with a lot of species on there that if you really want to learn, you want to check him out. Tarantula Collective, they're another great one for learning. Some other YouTubers are mostly entertainment. I guess that's probably where I'd fall. I'm just trying to entertain you and mostly myself, because I get bored easy. So, sorry if you're here for lessons. Check out one of those guys. Alright. So, I've got my catch cup on the ready. I've got everything. There is a lot of stuff on my work area here. I've got laptops, lights, fake plants, boxes, toilet paper rolls, mail. There's plenty of stuff for a tarantula that escapes from me to hide in, and it's a really bad idea. But if you knew me, you would know that I make my life much harder than it needs to be. Ooh. Well, there she is. Hello there. She's one of my bigger avic slings. I know, baby. Like, what the? Why is it so bright? Don't climb on me. I don't know if they shoot poop this young, but avics are one of the funniest tarantulas because instead of biting you, they usually will aim their butt at you and shoot poop, and they are very accurate. If you are not ready for it, you're getting shot in the eye. All right, let's see if I can touch her leg. What's going to happen here, hopefully, is she's just going to walk right in the enclosure, easy peek. Yeah, okay. More likely when I touch her, she's going to take off flying, and all this clutter is going to make it hard for me to find her. Okay, it doesn't look like she's going to do that. Oh, she's going to cooperate. Nice. And there's with avics, you've got about a 90% chance of them just being easy peasy, no problem. She was great. If I was the name your tarantula type, I'd give her a name, but I'm not. I have too many damn tarantulas to name them. So, now that she's in there, we'll pick her up and pick her up. These things can be kind of fragile, is the only problem I have. And if you force them the wrong way, you could crack the little bottoms. But yeah, here she is up on top. See if I can get you to see it without glare. And like I said, I like to provide much more space for my tarantulas than most people do. And I don't know many people who would have transferred her into an enclosure this big at that size. But like I said, the biggest argument people give you on that is, well, it's hard to feed them. It's hard to feed them and make sure they're getting what they need. This little girl, as I stated earlier, will make a tube web probably up in here. And all I've got to do is make sure that cricket gets up to that tube web, and she will come out and grab that damn thing every time. Avics are great eaters. Avicularia, normal avics are great eaters. I have some experience with versicolors, but avics are the only ones I really have a whole lot of experience with. I can't speak for a lot of the other species. There are some different personalities in some of the other species, so. But avicularia are great eaters. Getting food to them is no problem ever. So, all right, on to the next one. Okay, that jerked when I opened it. That's why I kind of seek the water a little bit so I'm not flinging water everywhere. I don't know if I explained it, but the dirt in the bottom with the avics, even though they won't come down, the dirt is just to hold a little humidity. You don't want it soaking wet. You don't want their enclosures to get stagnant, and that'd be pretty hard to do with these big screens anyway. So I could probably fill that bottom with water and be fine. But it's just to hold moisture. They do need humidity. Not as bad as we used to think. We used to think they had to have, if there wasn't condensation on the sides of their enclosures, they weren't getting enough. Now we believe we killed a lot of avics that way. That sudden avic death syndrome is now, if I'm understanding people correctly, the way we used to keep them way too wet. Anyway, I'm blabbering again. Let's try to get rid of that glare. Alright, let's see if this little lady wants to cooperate as well as the other. Let's see, I got my paintbrush, catch cup, cluster, and clutter. Plenty of places for her to escape to and never be found again. What could go wrong? Hello, sexy. Hello, little lady. Maybe onto the lid is a... push our luck. Transfer into a transfer kind of deal. Let's just see if we later, maybe, yeah, let's lay her down and try to coax her out. Can't really see the best. There you go. You're alright. You're alright, little lady. Onto the leaf there. Oh, yeah. See? Another one. Easy peasy. No problem whatsoever. Alright. there she is, and we will leave her alone and let her make her new enclosure. We'll have to look. I don't think I've got anybody else I can transfer tonight because I'm bored. Doing transfers I don't need to do just because I'm bored. We can't forget old Ferdinand here. Old Ferdinand, he's my homie. Usually lets. Oh, you start that. Was that aggressive? No, you just think I'm food. He was kicking my hand today, so I figure he's gonna start challenging me. That's all right. I can take a bite or two. Now I just watched a old video from the Dark Den where people were telling him how much of a horrible bearded dragon keeper he is. So here's my bearded dragon enclosure. I don't know if you guys think it's too big, too small, got the wrong substrate, maybe these rocks are bad, this little fake cactus is bad, maybe there's too much water. I don't know. You know, I have the UVB bulbs and I have the heat bulbs. But anyway, what I'd like you guys to do is, if you think I'm keeping my bearded dragon wrong, just write down what you think I'm doing wrong and then shove that. Here is my unplanned puppy dog tame, probably like 1 inch, 1.5 inch long Oscar, albino Oscar. I did not plan on buying this guy. I was just looking to see at the local fish store, which is obviously with COVID-19 having trouble getting in cichlids. Just looking to see what they have, and I'm like, oh, they have an Oscar. I'm not really looking for an Oscar. And then the wife kind of walked up behind me as I was looking at him, and the wife's like, oh, you're going to buy the baby Oscar? I'm like, well, no, I wasn't. Yeah, give me the baby Oscar, I guess. There's the Green Terror. I thought the Green Terror was going to beat up the much smaller Oscar. That Oscar is not even slightly afraid of that Green Terror. He has turned around and charged at the Oscar, and the Oscar just faced him down and didn't even back off. The Green Terror was like, oh, okay, never mind then. Anyway, so there's my fish. Here's my fish tank. And oh, same thing, if you guys happen to think I'm keeping my fish wrong, do the same thing with your suggestions. Right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If not, you know how I feel about your opinions. Talk to you later.